Audrey Snyder, 1 week from today, Penn State kicks off its 2014 training camp with James Franklin. But that's a week away. We're in Chicago right now. James Franklin is talking about his first Big Ten media day. It's coming to an end. He's got a lot to say. What have you learned so far that you didn't know already?
Well, James Franklin touched on about 1 million topics today, and as well did 3 of the Nittany Lions. They brought Sam Ficken, Bill Belton, and Mike Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of takeaways from today. One of the things I found interesting was when James was asked about Christian Hackenberg downstairs, and James said that Hackenberg's ability to be humble as well as to pick up on concepts has really pleased him so far. So, as expected, lots of Hackenberg praise already.
I'm just surprised he's on top of the depth chart the way that thing was released last week.
Seniority-laden depth chart.
I thought one of the interesting things Audrey he was talking about, he's definitely going to play a lot of young players this year because of the depth concerns, and he said he's even willing to risk some bad results in the fourth quarter of close games. He said he's determined he's going to play some young guys, win, lose, or draw, and he's got a pretty impressive freshman class that I think he's going to look at. So we'll see if he keeps to his word. But he did say, which I thought was interesting, that there's a new fastest player on the team. It's no longer DeAndre Tompkins. I believe it's Grant Haley, the corner that arrived over the summer. He said the team's gotten much faster. He also called Michael O'Connor, the January enrollee, one of the most improved players on the team.
Okay.
So those are a couple things I learned from today. As you said, some players were available as well. I think Bill Belton is a guy that you got to get to know, really, but apparently he had some pretty interesting things to say.
Yeah, Bill Belton was asked about if they're able to kid around with James Franklin a little bit. The pose. And Bill was having some fun with that, and he said, Franklin recruited him really heavily to go to Vanderbilt, so he feels as comfortable as ever with James Franklin, and Bill said that's really nice to have a relationship where you can joke around with a coach. And somebody who stood out to Bill Belton this summer is wide receiver Deshaun Hamilton. So that's a guy who's getting a lot of attention so far, so maybe that helps out the receiving core a little bit. And Mike Hall said linebacker depth, people should not be as worried about it as they are. So we'll see.
Yeah, one other thing, in case you hadn't heard, Christian Hackenberg, the sophomore quarterback, was named to the Big Ten's preseason watch list. I think it's pretty clear. I talked to Todd Blackledge and Gary Anderson about him today, that even with the loss of Allen Robinson, I think everyone around the league expects him to even better what he did last year, and his last year when he was Big Ten freshman of the year was pretty good. So we'll see about that. Camp's 1 week away. Franklin and the players will be available tomorrow here in Chicago, and we will report back, Audrey, on what they have to say.